Welcome to the 3D environment rendering workshop. What we're doing here, this is a little bit more of a complicated or a more complex workshop. What we're doing is we're using Midas and we're using Torch and we're also using OpenCV to generate a depth map, if you will, of the environment and of yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually import OpenCV, import Torch, import NumPy, and we're going to import time. And you'll see why I'm importing time in a little bit. First, we have to set our model type. There's three different model types. There's Midas Small, DPT Large, and DPT Hybrid. We're going to use Midas Small since it's a little bit more responsive. So we're going to set the model. Then what we do is we're going to use a variable named Midas. We're going to actually load our model type and we're going to load the Intel ISL Midas. And this is kind of, so we're going to load the model, but we're also going to load the data that we want or the file that we need from Midas into our Torch model. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set our device. What this does is it will either use our GPU, and if GPU is not available, it's going to use our CPU. And we're going to set Midas to whatever device is going to be used, and then we're going to actually do an evaluation to see if we are able to utilize that, if Midas is able to evaluate and use that device. If all that passes, we're actually going to then go to Midas Transform. And what Transform is doing, we're actually going to look inside the Intel ISL Midas, and we're going to look for transforms. And what we do is we have two different ones, and this is kind of where this other line, this other portion comes from. So if our model type is DPT large or our model type is DPT hybrid, we're going to use a transform. We're going to transform Midas transforms to DPT transform. If it's not either one of those, it's actually going to use a small transform. So we're actually going to, our transform will actually be small transform. And that's going to be in Midas transforms. So we're actually going to basically look inside, we're actually looking inside files, if you will, data files, and pulling out the file transforms from Intel ISL Midas and loading that so that we can actually determine which one we're actually going to be using, DPT transform or small transform. Obviously, since we're not using DPT large and DPT hybrid, we're obviously going to be using small transform. The next thing we do is we actually will set our camera up for video capture from our webcam. And we're going to set two different variables here. We have our alpha, which our alpha factor is actually for temporal smoothing. It's our temporal smoothing factor. So it's to smooth out the results. And basically you have smooth, which basically the smooth means that we're actually wanting to smooth out before we even start this program or start running the detection or start running the calculations and everything for creating this mapping. We don't want to have it smoothed right off the bat. So we're going to hit it. We're going to say none for now. And then we have a while true, which is a continuous loop. We're going to obviously read in our frames. And then here's where this kind of starts. So what this is this is a start timer. So we're actually going to start our timer, and this is going to be our start time for FPS calculations. So we're actually going to show the frame per second that we're getting just as a little extra thing to do instead of just having it run the feed, the live feed that we're actually going to be showing. So we're going to have this start equals time, and we're going to use the time function. And then what we have is we're going to have our frame. And what we're going to do here is what we usually do is we're converting the color. Because OpenCV originally becomes BGR, we're actually going to change it to RGB. Then we're actually going to look at that transform. We're going to actually transform the frame, and we're going to send it to the device that we're able to use. And that's going to become our input batch. Now, what we do here is torch no, we're doing no gradient. So no grad is actually no gradient. So we're disabling the gradient calculation, which is useful for inference purposes. So, and how to set this up is we're going to have a few different things that we need to do. First, we need to take our we need to send our input batch into Midas, and that's going to be, our prediction is going to be set to that. So we're going to take our input batch. Midas is going to read our input batch, and when it finally reads our input batch, that's going to be the prediction. We're going to also take prediction, and we're going to do torch neural network functional interpolate. Now, interpolate is basically it's used for upsampling or downsampling the inputs. So what we're doing here is we're going to first unsqueeze our prediction. We're going to set the size of the frame and the shape, which usually is a kind of like that hex that we did, kind of like only doing sort of like what we kind of showed when we were doing shape. We're actually using a little array, so we're going 0 to 2, right? So we're only going basically 0 to 2, meaning basically 2 by 2 area, 2 by 2 matrix, if you will. We're going to have our mode, which is going to be bicubic, and we're going to have align corners. We're actually not going to align corners because we don't really care about the, how do I put that? We don't really care about aligning our corner pixels. We really don't care for that at all. So we're not going to leave that true. And then what we're going to do at the very end is we're going to take all this information and we're going to actually squeeze it and combine it. So unsqueeze is uncombining. Squeeze is actually combining everything, squeezing everything together into one, right? So we're actually taking all that information, squeezing it together into one so that basically everything that we're looking at for the prediction creates this prediction. Then what we have is we're going to have depth. Depth is going to look at the prediction and going to look at the CPU, and we're going to look at NumPy. And depth, we're actually going to normalize. So we're actually going to normalize. Normalizing is something that should be done because once we normalize it, we're going to get a little bit more of more realistic numbers, if you will. So let's say you have a decimal. Well, it will not be a decimal. It'll round up or round down depending. So we're actually going to normalize, and we're going to normalize the depth prediction. So we're going to actually normalize this depth, and basically you have your source, destination, alpha, beta, your norm type, and your D type or mask. What we're doing here is we have and D type is actually known for data type. So what we have is our source is depth. We have no destination. We're going to have an alpha of 0. We're going to have a beta of 1. And then we're going to have a actual normalization type, which is going to be norm, min, max. So normalized, min, and max. And then our data type is going to be CV64F. So 64 float. Then what we have is we have applied temporal smoothing. So this is where that smoothing comes in. So if smooth is none, smooth is actually going to be the depth. Else smooth is going to be alpha, our alpha, which was back up here, our alpha. So alpha factor, our temporal smoothing factor, alpha, times smooth, which there's nothing, plus 1 minus alpha times the depth. And then depth equals smooth times 255. And then you're going to set it as a type numpy unsigned int 8-bit. So it's going to be an unsigned integer 8-bit. And that's kind of what this uint 8 means. Unsigned integer 8-bit. Then we're going to apply a bilateral filter to the depth. So we have obviously bilateral filter. We already have our source. We have our D variable, which is more of like a depth. We have sigma color and sigma space. So we're going to only set our source. We're going to set our, I guess, bilateral filter, which would be depth or diameter, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. We're going to set that to 9. Our sigma color is going to be 75, and our sigma space is going to be 75. Usually you want to keep the sigma color and sigma space the same. You could change it and see what actually happens. It'll change how this bilateral filter actually affects the depth. But for consistency and for what we're trying to achieve, we want 75 on both. Then we're going to apply a color map to this, which is what this variable here does. So what we have is we're going to apply color map, and we're going to use our source, which is our depth. And then what we're going to do is, this is kind of like a conversion, if you will, similar to what OpenCV has. So we're actually going to have OpenCV has the capability of creating a color map. We're going to just do color map and set it to HSV, which is hue saturation value. The last few things we're going to do is we're going to end that timer, that start timer that we started. So we're going to end, we have an end time, and this, like I said, was FPS calculation. What we're doing is we're going to take the total time. And how you do that is you take your end time, subtract your start time, and then that becomes the total time. And then for FPS, you're going to just take 1 over that total time, and that should give the frames per second. Frames per second. What we're going to do is we're actually going to change the frame color from red, green, blue to blue, green, red. We're going to put a text which shows FPS, and this is usually normal. For this, we want an integer. So for FPS, if we left it where it's just FPS, it would be more of a decimal. We want a consistent integer for FPS. So that's why we do int FPS. And everything else is the same. Obviously, this is going to be the size, and then you have, or the area, or the location of where you want the text or the label, and then you have the font, you have the size, you have the coloration, you have the thickness, or bold, how bold it is. Then you're going to show 2 different things. You're going to show these 2 lines here are actually one showing the frame with the FPS, just the regular frame, and then one's actually showing us the depth, showing us that the usage of depth, and showing us the usage of Midas, and showing us how we can calculate and how the colorations are varied based off of how far away or how near things are. And then we're going to obviously do the same thing. We're going to have where we can use the escape key to break out of the loop. We also have cam release. We're going to destroy all windows, and we have CV wait key 0. And if we run this, you're going to see so as you can see here, what we have is we have a depth map. I can move my hands and things like that, right? So you can see where my hands are, and just to show, this is what's actually happening. So what we have here, I'm going to put them next to each other. So as you can see in the top corner there, you have my FPS of how the frames per second, and if I move my hand up right there, you can see how close things are and how far things are, right? If I move my hand closer and then I move it farther away, you can see how that coloration's changing. So it's actually kind of pretty accurate with, and then obviously my hand disappears out of the frame. So you can see that it is basically determining our depth and how close or far we are. The less color, the less bright. We are close. Obviously, it's heat signature, so it's getting us right. And then we're moving closer. Things start to fade away. As we move closer, you can see that there's no green, no blue anymore, really. And then if we move farther away, greens are opening up, blues are opening up. You have yellow, red, a lot of different things. So. And that is basically our 3D environment rendering workshop. Thanks for coming, and thanks for sticking around and learning some stuff about uh, Midas and OpenCV and Torch and how to create a somewhat very not creating a depth map that's not completely 100%. It's a very rough draft of a depth map. So, thanks.